I think I want to throw this out here and think about what exactly should we be doing as libertarian Christians in response to some of these things. I mean, how far do we comply? How far do we, rebel against the state? I mean, on the one hand, Romans 13. On the other hand, there's more than one there's more than one option. No, Matthew. No, put it away. Put it away.
Nerf wars?
Not a real gun.
Okay.
Nope.
Just put that.
I mean, I see what you're saying. You're saying you should go out and have fun with your children in your backyard and play with Nerf guns.
That was
exactly what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. I was just saying, hey, let me just throw it out to the team, and maybe Matthew, you can sit quiet on this one. How should we respond? I have this. I actually was in the car with relatives of mine, and we were talking about these new potential lockdowns, orders, churches sort of not complying with our governor saying that, we need to have all masks on at all times in church services or something like that. And I was like, and these are conservatives. So much for Romans 13. Like, their church basically decided not to listen. They were just like, yeah, we're not doing that. So how do we respond?
Well, I am a huge fan of Etienne de la Boetie, who basically advocated peaceful noncompliance. And Oscar Kuhlman, who wrote the book, The State in the New Testament, also said that you should basically not participate as much as you can in anything related to the state. And even just observing people here in New Mexico, what I see by and large is a lot of peaceful noncompliance. Like, we don't have a lot of protests and things like that, although there was supposed to be one yesterday. I don't know how it turned out. But, I don't think that there's a huge need to call attention to ourselves, but just go about living our lives as we normally would. If enough people do that, and I'm even thinking of law enforcement here, because here her big problem is getting law enforcement to actually support her edicts, and they're not doing it either. So it seems to me that the answer to all of this, even the Christian libertarian answer, is simply peaceful noncompliance. Just stop cooperating.
There's a lot of power in the word no.
No.
Well, and then on top of that, we practice personal responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
That is the secondary portion of the other side of the coin of individual liberty is individual responsibility. And we do have a responsibility to do good by our fellow man and be careful. And there are things that we can do that are realistic, that are not overly dramatic, and not overly complicating one's life, in order to just reasonably do your best to stop the spread, per se. And there's plenty of good science out there, and it is our responsibility to learn it.
Yeah.
We can take the recommendations with a grain of salt, do our own homework, and keep living life.
And to dovetail that, Norman, I think one thing that we can do is stop ridiculing our fellow man for disagreeing with us. Like, there is too much of that going on right now. I mean, we can have our opinions, but at this point, it's a distraction, and it's fueling a lot of, it's fueling a lot of unrest, and it doesn't need to happen. And in fact, I would even say that the governor is banking on, all these governors are banking on people just sort of being at each other's throats and sick and tired of one another.
That's a crucial point. And that is that on both sides, there is, we see this from people who want to, try and try and push every single type of tyrannical mandate upon everyone, versus those who want to flaunt everything for the sake of flaunting.
Right.
And that's, neither of those is a good thing. Neither of those is trying to follow the way of logic, which is to suggest that perhaps if all you can really do is mock your opponent's position, perhaps yours is not that strong.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the middle ground here is go do your homework.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
learn the stuff. It's all out there. Like never before has there been more scientific data that has just been released into the wild,
Right.
than in this point in time. Like a lot of
Yeah.
most people don't realize, like, if you want to go and try and get things like scientific articles and whatnot that are from journals, peer reviewed and whatever, a lot of that stuff
It's
it's behind paywalls,
Yeah.
right? And so you either have to know how to break down it, or have access via university or something, or you have to, or you have to figure out a way to pay for it.
Mhm.
Guess what? In fact, I don't know of any journal that is publishing anything related to the pandemic that is not doing it in open access right now. Everything is available. You can learn it. Don't be an idiot. Like, I mean,
Well, and if we were living in a free society, that would be part of your responsibility anyway, is to
Yeah.
inform yourself. So inform yourself.
yeah. So that's, I think the other side of the coin there is that, it's our responsibility to go learn and to be informed about these sorts of things. If we purport to have like a serious opinion that we wish, like, if you purport to be able to mock somebody about it, you better darn well know your stuff.
Right.
Like, eventually there's a point at which we mock the state for being stupid. I get that.
Yeah.
but when we try and mock our fellow man, we better like reevaluate that type of position, because we owe it to them. We wouldn't want to be treated that way.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,